Back with another shortcut video concerning these beautiful carbon parts. We are back and we would like to present you our today's topic. What is the hugger, the rear wheel fender? And this one is a really special one because it has a lot of key points and Julius knows a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. As you can see, it's not only any rear hugger, but it's the one from the BMW flat engines with the cardan on the side. It's a one-arm swing arm rear hugger. And as you know, BMW has offered a lot of these bikes and we have to offer a lot of different rear huggers. And I think we want to explain the most important of them. So when it comes, I would start with the air-cooled engines. This means in the year 2023, of course, R9T series. We start with the R9T Racer. As you can see down here, we have really, I would say, a really racing-like rear fender here. It's of course mounted with our patented system on the inside of the cardan. You have a really sporty look, a really aerodynamic look, which fits to the rest of the aerodynamic look of the Racer. Of course, this one fits also on the normal 90. Next, I want to go to the Urban GS. Here you can see it's the off-road tire, which is a lot bigger than the normal street tire. And you can see still we have made extra a special hugger only for this tire, which is higher than the normal one. And so you can see here's really enough gap between tire and the fender. So with this one you can go actually into the off-road, you can go in the dirt and still everything here is protected in the front. Now if you say, yeah, it's okay, it's nice, but honestly I want to keep on street and have normal street tires. They're a lot smaller than the off-road tires. Then of course we have also this hugger. It's looking more or less the same retro look, but it is smaller. So the gap to the tire will be then the same, will look just as perfect as it should. And so depending on what style of bike you have, on what style of tire you ride and how you want to ride, we always have the fitting rear hugger for each 90. After the air-cooled engines came of course the water-cooled engines, and for this Daniel will tell you more about.
Exactly. Now one of these water-cooled engines I have just next to me, the R1250R model of BMW. And as Julius already mentioned, yeah, this approved patented screw connection is not only available for the air-cooled models but as well as on these water-cooled models like next to me. And if I really now push it right and left and I try really to like dismount this piece, you already see how there is really no moving around or whatever. So this is a really perfect part on this bike, and this part has also two main issues. You probably know, all you guys, if you know this BMW model, that from the origin one, the OEM, this bike does not come out with any hugger. So there is no mud protector, there is no rear wheel fender, nothing. So this means, as you all know, that we have an ESA box, like this electronical part which covers or which is responsible for the rear shock and for the electronic rear shock. This is standing really completely alone, and out of nothing you just like go through the woods, you go through mud, or you have like rain days, and all the time this ESA box is just like getting water, getting mud, getting everything. And to protect that one, and also to protect what is a key word here in this case, piston rod, we have now a perfect part what covers the whole wheel and avoids complete water and mud from these parts, which are really important, as you know, when you had to pass through the garage to change them. So, and this model one, this rear fender is also fitting not only on the R model, so it's also fitting on the 1250 RS model. So coming now next from this R model, we go to the GS, one of the most favorite bikes in all over the world. As you know, we have the same thing. It's like a little bit another design, because we had to adapt for sure on the geometrics and everything this bike has. So, but from general point of view, if you just look at it, it's nearly the same thing. Also with this patented screw connection for sure. And we have here a really nice part what combines, I would say, a lot of functionality with design. So beautiful part. It's more wider at the end, so it covers also the back part of the wheel. So mud and water and everything gets avoided. It also, like on the R model, it gets avoided from the ESA box, because if you have a nice look at it, you have a back protector here, from the rear, but this back protection is not enough, I would say, from our experience, to protect this ESA box and to protect also the piston rod down underneath. So this is also a really beautiful part. In different versions you can have it, and it can be really combined with the splash protector in case. It's just like staying here in the middle, you know, it's just a little bit water protection against splash, but actually it's nothing big, so you have to cover it really with a rear wheel cover like this one, the hugger. And you can combine these two perfectly. If you don't like the plastic one that comes originally, we also have for sure a carbon one which fits this from design and also from the look perfectly to that one what you see here. Yeah, a beautiful hugger which can be combined here with this ice bucket in plastics or in carbon as you like. And we think this is a part which has to be automatically on your bike to protect all the electronics, etc. And if you now have a question how you mount it on your bike, or you had probably in the past some problems, Julius knows now the right way how you can implement this on your bike.
Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, as you already mentioned, it is a complete patented screwing. So this means we really thought us something, how can we do this the best? Because you know, it's a one-armed swing arm. So this means it's always difficult if it's only in one surface, I would say, in one layer, then it's always different with stability. Now you can see we made two different levels on how it's screwed. This means we have one screw on the outside where the brake caliper is, and we have two screws on the inside of the cardan. This allows us that this fender is really tight on the motorcycle, tighter than anything else, I would say. But this comes with the point that the rear wheel has to be taken off the bike so the fender can be mounted. You know, on the GS, for example, with the center resistance, this is no big deal. The rear wheel is already off the ground, so this can be done easily. But we have another magical trick for you, how you can do it a little bit easier. We've seen over the years that, especially if the cardan has run a few thousand kilometers, sometimes it can happen that there are problems with the mounting. This comes from the following. These holders are full metal, and we laser cut them to be sure that every holder is the same. And now, you know, the carbon is laminated by hand into a mold, and to ensure that this is always the exact same, these holders get screwed in the mold, so we can really ensure that these tolerances of the position of the holes and the size of the holes is really always the same. This allows us to have really tight holes for the screws, but this means that there is not a lot of room left for this one to move when mounting. So if you now have the fender and you want to mount it, then you screw in the inner two screws first on the cardan. Then it can happen that the outer screw will make problems, as it has to go through a lot of layers on the outside. At first we see here the metal clip which holds the cable, and in the end it's the holder of the brake caliper, which is also really big, so there it can be tricky. So what we would recommend now is to just put in this screw, the outer screw first, and afterwards you can really move it in, and it's fitting perfectly on the bike, and then just put in the inner two screws, and the fender then will fit just perfect without any problems. Move it on, put in the three screws, tighten them, put on the rear wheel, and then you're ready to go again.
Yeah, this was a nice information of a pro who really fixed this rear fender already a lot of times. So yeah, I think it's the best way how you can mount it, the rear wheel fender on your bike. We hope that you enjoyed this episode of Ilmberger Carbon Shortcuts as much as we did. Hope that you got a lot of information. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Just write us an email or put a comment here down. And we hope to see you soon again in our next episode, Ilmberger Carbon Spare Parts. We say hello, goodbye.
See you next time.